Hi, I'm Richard, and we're at the Open Air Blues Festival in Brezoi. With me is 𝐂𝐤𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐻𝐵𝐻 from Northern Ireland.
Hey!
Tell me, who introduced you to the blues?
My grandmother. When I was 12 years of age, I was auditioning for a Opportunity Knocks. It was a talent TV show, and I was singing Doris Day, Once I Had a Secret Love, in this big blue taffeta ball gown. And the musical director said to my grandmother after, "You need to let her listen to Etta James." And my grandmother got me a tape, and the first song that played was her covering St. Louis Blues, W.C. Handy. And I fell in love in that instant. I didn't realize it at that time because then I became a teenager and I had lost my way. So when I was in cover bands for 20, nearly 30 years, then I began to fall in love with Etta James again. But it just became part of me when I was 12.
You're presenting a radio show?
Yes.
𝐂𝐤𝐴𝐵𝐻𝐵𝐻 Got the Blues on BBC Radio Ulster.
Yes. Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, this is the 8th series. The BBC have kindly had me back, and every Sunday at 4 p.m. I take the listener through my love of the blues and the stories of blues artists that I meet along the way, new discoveries, people who push boundaries, but also stay, true to the original blues that we all love so much. And they kindly enough let me have a free hand to pick what I want. So, of course, I go back to the days of Bessie Smith and, Big Mama Thornton, and even further than that into more risque blues like Lucille Bogan or Bo Carter, and, of course, W.C. Handy. Willie Dixon is my favourite songwriter. So it's a great opportunity to educate people on the blues, and quite often they're so surprised when they listen to the radio. I mean, someone tweeted me the other day that they'd never even heard of Joe Satriani, and I was like, what? You people haven't lived. So it's good that way. It gives me a platform. But it just ended today, the 8th series.
And when did you move from Belfast to France?
2.5 years. We're in France now. So, and my husband was a policeman. He retired. And really all my work was in France, so we just said, right, okay, let's go for it and see if it happens.
And you've been recording these radio shows from France, sending
yes,
them through email?
Yeah, the last few series I have a little home studio, and I record and then send it to the engineers, and they release it and put their magic touch to it.
And then with your original music, you won the European Blues Challenge in 2017.
Yes. Do you know what? It feels so long ago because so much has happened.
In these past 5 years.
Yes, yeah. Yes. And that was another changing moment because nobody in Europe knew who 𝐂𝐤𝐴𝐵𝐻 was. But sadly, finances and my health at the time meant that I couldn't fulfill the festivals that we had won, and then I had to end the band. So we actually done the last tour of the UK in that September, and I ended the band, and I got well and hit the road as a duo, piano and vocal, for 2-3 years.
And how did the lockdown help you develop as an artist?
Well, I honed into my Irish roots, and I learnt bodhrán, or we say bodhrán, and Irish drums. So I don't know many people who are playing the Irish drum in blues, but my blues isn't typical 12-bar. So we're creating this kind of new vibe at the minute, but you'll have to see.
That sounds great. You've recorded 5 albums.
Yes.
And your latest album is a best of?
Anthology, yes. I signed with Dixie Frog Records in 2020 in the middle of lockdown, which was amazing. and but we never got to release anything, and we decided to introduce me to the French public. It was better to do a best of so that they could see what has made 𝐘𝐲-Hawkins before I release the new album next year.
And last year you just you were invited to a festival, 𝐵𝐲,
Oui.
in France, and they gave you an award, Godmother of the festival.
Yes, yes. Great.
How did that happen?
You know, I'm a little bit crazy, I'm a little bit eccentric, and I'm great on social media. And I think Robert and Giselle, who organised the festival, have become dear friends, and they understand me as a musician, as an artist, and I also appreciate the whole team and the volunteers. And he's been a great support since I won the European Blues Challenge, so it was a great honour. So it's, you know, I wear it with pride, and I will always represent them wherever I go.
And is this the first time you're playing in Romania? What do you think of the open air blues festival here in Brezoi?
Magnifique. This other festivals really need to take a leaf out of the books here, because the welcome backstage is second to none. The food, the accommodation, you know, they're just so tentative, and just a great crew to work with. So, you know, I wish them all the best for the future. And Romania is stunning. You know, I'm nestled beneath a mountain, and it's just beautiful.
Thank you for your time. Good luck with the music.
Thank you, thank you.
And we're waiting for you to come on down to the open air blues festival in Brezoi.
Ta-da!